In this session, we are going to see some more details about how the foreign key works. In the previous sessions, we saw how to create foreign keys, and we also saw how the function delete on cascade and worked when we deleted the master table having created a foreign key. So in this session, we will see an alternate method to create foreign key. Let's see how this works. So I create a master table called customer. So let us create the customers table. It has two fields, which is an ID. I declare that as a primary key, followed by the name of the customer, which I give for now as a varchar field. Okay, let us create this simple master table. Having created this table, I am now going to insert records into this. So insert into customers, values. I am going to create an ID 1, say with the name as Jack. Then I am going to insert another value, say Jill. Let us insert these two values into the customer table. Okay, having created this master table, now let us create a child table. So create table, customer order. For this, I am going to give an order ID, which is say going to be a number field, and also the primary key of this table. Then I am going to create a customer ID for who placed the order, which is again going to be a number field, followed by say date of order. So this is going to be a customer order date, and this is going to be a date field. In the previous cases, when we created the foreign key, we directly referred the table here and said this references table customers with ID. So in this case, what we are going to do, we are going to just say constraint. This is going to be constraint name. So since it is customer orders, I am just going to put this as cust orders. Then foreign key. This is going to be on the field because in the previous case directly across the field we wrote the references. Since this is not the case, we also need to know what is the field that is going to reference there. So this is going to be customer underscore ID references the table customers to the field ID. So now let us see, I have just given a constraint name which you can skip also. So I'll remove this for reference. Foreign key, we are going to tell on which field it is in this table, which is customer ID, and it references the table customers field as ID. Okay, so now let us run this command and see how this works. So the table gets created. This is just an alternate method of creating foreign key. You can also name the constraint as I showed before. So I'll just drop this table and recreate it. Okay, but this time I'm going to say constraint and I'm giving just a name. Since it's a foreign key, I just gave this style as naming foreign key. So fk underscore. For which table you are creating the foreign key, I just give this. So this is not a rule, but this will be applicable, helpful when you have large number of records and tables and you need to refer each of these constraints. So this is just a method. Let's see, we'll run this again and see how it works. So the table gets created. Okay, so this is just an alternate method of creating foreign keys. Now, so far what we have done, we have created a master table and then we have created a separate child table, and the particular fields of the child is getting a reference to its master or parent on a particular field. Now Alternatively, we can also have the same table as both the master and the child. Okay, let us see a case like this. I'm going to create a table which is called employee. Okay, the employee is going to have an ID, so let me call that as employee ID, which is the number field, and that is going to be the primary key of this table. Then the employee has a name, so I give the name, which is going to be a varchar. Then I'm going to say the department the employee is associated with, so I'm giving a varchar field for that too. Then I'm going to say who is the manager of this employee. Typically a manager is also another employee in the firm, right? So the manager ID is going to be a number, but in this case it references the employee ID in the same table. So I say again, it references employee, and then I say the field with which it references. So it references the same table and the field employee ID. Let us see how this works. So the table gets created. Let us now start inserting record. Insert into employee values. Okay. The first time I'm going to say assume I create the CEO or the senior manager of the company. Okay. So I say insert into employee, then I'm going to specify values. I'm going to start inserting. 1, employee name is going to be say Praveen. Then the department is going to be say sales. For now I don't have the manager, so I'm just we will assume he is the most senior person, so I'm just going to put this as a null value there and I insert. Okay, now beneath Praveen there are going to be a couple of people who are going to be employed. So what I do, I'm going to insert another employee who say Ravi, and he works in the sales team. His manager is Praveen. Okay. Now let us see. Select star from employee. In the first case, Praveen does not have a manager because we assume he is one of the topmost guys. Then under Praveen, you have a person who is called Ravi. He is also working on the sales department. So his manager name number matches to the employee ID of Praveen. Okay. We can also try to insert one more employee under Praveen. So let us say we will insert one more record. This time the employee ID is going to be 3. The department is still sales. Say like his name is going to be Bill. Okay. So his manager ID is still going to be Bill. Now I can create one more employee. Say 4 with the ID 4. His name is Ram, but this time he is a subordinate of Ravi. So I can still insert this value. Now let us see the records. So I have the topmost cadre in the name of Praveen. Under Praveen I have a Ravi and Ram work. Under Praveen I have a Ravi and Bill working. And under Ravi, I have somebody called Ram working in the sales department. So this manner, based upon the requirements, both the master and the child table can be the one and the same. So based on your application requirements or project requirements, this could be a call that you could obviously make. And on the top cadre, you can leave this empty. Okay. Only thing, you cannot define a not null constraint here. Otherwise, it doesn't work logically because somebody has to have no manager at the top level. Okay. So with this, I'll stop this session. We have so far seen how to create a table and what are all the different possible constraints that you have. So essentially you have created an object and you have put in different types of data into the object, and we have seen the different constraints or restrictions that we can place over this data. The next thing is, having the data in the table, let us see how we can query and retrieve the information in different fashion. So in the next video, we will see details about data retrieval. I'll see you in the next week. Please subscribe to the channel. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you.